Dr. Nicola with Pura Vida Healthcare, and I wanted to talk to you today because I just completed a 3-day intensive training on women's health, specifically looking at issues that come up in perimenopause and menopause. And my brain is like so full of good information. And I wanted to bring this to your awareness because a couple of things. One is the statistics on women who are going through perimenopause and menopause. It's about a third of the women worldwide, and almost less than 10% of them are actually treated for their symptoms. And I have seen this in my own practice, and the trainers and docs who were running the course were saying how often that they have women come into their practice and they said they went to their primary, they went to their OBGYN, and they were told that they were being vain, that they just had to put up with it, that hormone replacement therapy is dangerous. And a lot of this is based on a study that came out in 2002 that was using conjugated equine estrogens, which means Premarin, which is the estrogen urine metabolites from horses. And so it's really not bioidentical. It's absolutely not bioidentical. And so in the past 20 years, we have come so far in understanding women's health, and there is a huge body of research that is demonstrating not only the efficacy of interventions that could include hormone replacement therapy, but that we also have botanical medicine, also known as herbs, nutraceuticals or supplements, the importance of diet and nutrition and lifestyle changes, exercise, lifting weights, sleeping well, and so making in and really addressing mood issues that come up. And so, as a naturopathic doctor, I feel really uniquely poised to really offer women a gamut of options based on your comfort, based on your health history, based on your family history. But more than anything, I want you to know that if you are having symptoms, be it vaginal dryness or changes in libido or hot flashes and night sweats, mood changes, weight gain, insomnia, all of these things, that there are solutions. And that what's cool, and one of the docs, Dr. Tori Hudson, was saying, was one of her favorite things about being a naturopathic doctor, is that she rests assured that if we've tried one option, two options, three options, that she can keep going. And that's really the beauty of having such a broad training in such a variety of options, is that we can really meet where you are at in order to address these fully. And I took this seminar on the same training. It's called Menopause Boot Camp, and I did it a number of years ago. And I am shocked about how much has changed even since the last time I took it, which wasn't that long ago. So this is something that your providers, you want to really invite them and ask questions. When was the last time they did a literature review? When was the last time that they updated their standard of care based on what we know now versus what we were going off before? One of the things that we found out is that there was a lot of fear around supplementing with estradiol because there were some negative outcomes in some studies. But what we noticed is two things. One is that when we use the conjugated equine estrogens, it was not the same as a bioidentical, and that often they were prepared with progestins, which is not the same as progesterone. It's a synthetic that does not act the same in the body. I can't imagine a time where I would recommend a progestin instead of a progesterone. And so what we're discovering is that it was the progestins that were actually part of the issue in some of these negative health outcomes. So and there's these very specific time windows where we want to initiate hormone replacement therapy within 10 years of going through menopause or before 60. That's not hard and fast, but that's a really strong guideline. So we don't want to wait until we can't handle it anymore. We really want to start working on this, not just so that we have a reduction of peri and menopausal symptoms, although that is important, but we're talking about living 20, 30, 40, 50 years postmenopausally. Almost for some of us, it's going to be half of our lives. And these hormones are so important for brain health, for bone health, for mood, for metabolism and body composition. There is heart health. There's this huge body of evidence that shows how important it is. And when I first got my naturopathic degree, I was not really supportive of hormone replacement therapy. I was like, well, menopause is a natural thing. A decline in hormones is expected. And so who am I to say that we should do it differently? But then what opened my eyes was the first time I went to this conference, maybe 10 years ago, maybe longer than that, um, was this idea that women or people, our life expectancy was 40 or 50. So women typically didn't live much beyond menopause, if at all. A lot of us were dying in childbirth, we're dying shortly after our children were grown, sort of thing. And we are really, because of our modern environment, we are living a very different life. And so we are living far beyond menopause, which is not necessarily what we are evolutionarily designed to do. So that made a lot of sense for me around why we might want to supplement with hormone replacement therapy. And at the very least, we want to look at some natural treatments that can support the body if that's not in alignment for you, or you have a health history that would prevent that being a good option for you, or you have some fears and you really just want to see how far you can get in with other ways. So most importantly, I want you to hear that your health, women, ladies, is so important, and that it is crucial that you see a provider who understands, who's staying up on the literature, who's willing to do testing and retesting, and who understands the overall benefit of treating your symptom picture and your body, not just to remove symptoms, but to prevent disease and create the most optimal way of living that you possibly can. So oftentimes during this time of life, we are dealing with children and aging parents. We're at the height of our careers. We have a lot going on. And so, for a lot of the women I speak with, symptoms or just not feeling sharp, or like, brain fog and furry headedness, not sleeping well, it's getting in the way of us getting to the gym, making our own food rather than grabbing something from takeout or cheese and crackers, from even feeling good about where we are in our life. Our energy is low, our mood is up and down. And these are things that can be addressed with a lot of options in a way that fits your person just right. So please, if you are having any menopausal or perimenopausal symptoms, please find a provider. I'm happy to talk to you personally, but there's a lot of other really knowledgeable people out there as well. And really start addressing it so that you can step into the second half of your life with joy and abundance and well rested and lots of energy, and really embrace the wisdom that you are ready to impart, and that I'll tell you we all need to hear. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or send me a message anytime. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.